Hello, I'm Sue Kares, and I'm currently raising funds for the Young Muslim Children's Home in Garissa, Kenya. By cycling and walking a total of 9,505 kilometres, the distance between my home in Manchester, UK and the children's home in Garissa. Due to current COVID-19 restrictions, this is unfortunately a virtual road trip, involving me pedalling on my exercise bike. I'm not too safe on a proper road anyway, let alone on the Trans-Sahara Highway, and stomping along the Fallowfield Loop in Manchester. But I do have detailed route maps, and having set off almost 7 months ago, I've now completed 8,434 kilometres, and I'm on my way to Mbale in Uganda. Having actually visited and stayed at the home in 2019, I was struck by the emphasis on resilience, commitment and aspiration by staff and young people within such an overwhelmingly caring and happy environment, which left me both humbled and inspired to help in any way I can. My aim here is to raise the profile of the children's home, while ultimately generating support for areas targeted for funding within health, food provision, the environment and education, specifically literacy. Established in 1969 by the Young Muslim Association, YMA, the home currently supports 430 orphaned boys and girls who come from all over Kenya. The centre includes an orphanage and mosque, together with nursery, primary and secondary schools, with additional provision for children with special needs. With a current enrolment at the schools of over 800 pupils, boys and girls also attend from outside the centre. Due to a lack of provision, the girls have thus far been unable to progress beyond primary level, which left them exceptionally vulnerable. However, the centre has just announced the opening of the girls' secondary school, which is wonderful. These girls will now be offered an equal opportunity to pursue their education, gain in confidence and self-worth, and markedly improve their future prospects, reflecting the value placed on women's empowerment by the YMA within their outreach projects. But with these progressive developments comes an urgent need for additional resources. Firmly believing in the right to access and enjoy reading, which plays such a formative role in their education, my initial aim has always been to provide these young people, in consultation with their teachers at the schools, with a selection of reading books, both within appropriate reading schemes and to enable individual development and enrichment. With the expansion of provision for girls, the need is now even more pressing. Book suppliers in Kenya have been sourced which offer a stimulating range of non-fiction and fiction texts with appropriately relatable themes and characters to share and to enjoy. However, not only are these young people reliant and vulnerable needing our support, but the centre also provides shelter to neighbouring villagers who during recurrent flooding of the nearby Tana River are then moved on to the school's playgrounds. threats of flooding and then drought are constant in this area. Yet it is the children's home which then offers support to their extremely vulnerable neighbours, providing shelter and distributing emergency food aid packages to hundreds of displaced families. But despite this destruction and devastation, 2 initiatives under development at the centre are taking positive action to maximise the centre's land while tackling environmental challenges by growing their own food. My aim now is to raise awareness of and support for these projects: the Waweru Greenhouse Project and the Waweru Fruit Tree Project. Within the Waweru Going Green programme, 200 fruit trees, including mango, avocado, pawpaw and lemon, have already been planted here, but we can buy more. The environmental benefits of growing these trees include offsetting CO2 emissions, thus reducing pollution and improving air quality with clear health benefits. Preventing soil erosion, helping the soil obtain and retain moisture. Preventing water pollution when unfiltered stormwater flows into the rivers, and crucially, lowering flood risks while increasing wildlife habitats and biodiversity. The centre's greenhouse project has likewise cultivated tomatoes, sukuma wiki, spinach and more drought-resistant crops such as cassava, with an aim to expand further by increasing crop diversity and productivity with potential for multiple harvests within the strategic placement of crops. In February-March 2020, for example, a total yield of 220 kilograms of cassava was harvested for the home's orphans. With our support, these progressive fruit tree and greenhouse projects can develop to build environmental resilience, improve sustainable farming practices, to create fertile, productive land and increased food security. The recent addition of 2 10,000-litre water tanks, for instance, can provide drip irrigation for 400 mango trees, 200 banana and 1 acre of pawpaw on 5 acres of greenhouse and fruit plantation land. Smaller, lower-cost irrigation systems, such as bucket drip irrigation, are also being trialled at the centre, comprising a 20-litre bucket fixed with 3 15-metre irrigation pipes laid in 3 rows. Each row can support 150 plants, 450 in total. This development at the centre not only aimed at educating the children about the growing process through practical engagement, also promotes the concept to the local community. Low cost, simple to install, operate and maintain, these bucket drip kits can enable smallholders to harvest enough vegetables for their families and for sale, alleviating food insecurity. Initial research findings suggest that such systems can indeed be a formidable poverty-fighting tool. Natural resource management includes the collection and channeling of floodwater used to water plants in the greenhouse. Organic fertilisers are being trialled, derived, for example, from chicken manure, sourced from local farms. Composted plant and food waste provide essential nutrients for plant growth, while improving soil structure to increase air circulation and help the soil retain moisture and nutrients. Recycling practices also include the reuse of non-biodegradable plastic bottles as pots in which to grow on a variety of seedlings in the nursery beds. Yet not only will the cultivation of this area of land with valuable fruit and vegetable crops ensure sustainable agricultural production and help safeguard the environment, but crucially also yield a nutritious food source for the orphans to supplement their diet. Through practical engagement with the food process, this next generation may then learn and acquire practical skills themselves. How to grow their own fresh, nutritious food. Develop a degree of self-sufficiency and food security, while in the process learning how to respect and protect the environment, not only during their time at the centre, but also in the future as adults. Although at the experimental stage, the aim is to develop these projects on a larger scale to eventually create further employment at the centre, reduce food costs at the orphanage, reduce food costs for food aid, and create income-generating opportunities to fund further development. These are sustainable empowerment projects, driven, once more, by resilience, commitment and aspiration for boys and girls, which together we can support, not only financially, but by sharing awareness of these progressive initiatives at this children's home and ultimately its vision. However, as always, the degree of financial support which we can offer is dependent upon the amount we raise. As a guide, sponsorship of an orphan starts at £40 a month, which includes their accommodation, food, clothing, medical care and education. An emergency food aid pack costs from £40. Construction of a water pump starts at £1,500. I assure you that any donation you can make is hugely appreciated, so please join us and offer your support by giving whatever you can. I emphasise that this is not a quick fix, a bag of sweets, but rather an investment in the futures of these young people and the disadvantaged within the community. An investment in their health, their education, progress, and sustainable environmental protection. Further updates and details, including how to donate, are available on my Just Giving page, on the YMA website, or follow on YMA Facebook, Instagram and Twitter accounts. My journey started as a means to generate additional funds for this children's home, while raising its profile, but has since evolved into a celebration of its achievements and aspirational ethos within the progressive vision of the YMA, a Kenyan registered charity supported by donors and voluntary groups within Kenya and internationally. So on behalf of all the young people at the Young Muslim Children's Home and schools in Garissa, Kenya, and me in Manchester, we'd like to say a massive thank you for giving your time to watch and listen, and indeed to all of you who have already shown your incredible support. Thank you.